Oh boy. What's happening, people? KG is back. Match reaction. Oh man. Just when you thought Leicester, Plymouth did us a favor last night, we surrender our undefeated home record today. Oh, gutted. Oh, this one hurts, people, not gonna lie. This one hurts. Listen, before we get into it all, please like the video. Do that for me today. If you do nothing else for me, please do that. Subscribe to the channel and drop your thoughts below. Thank you to Mr. P for the super thanks in the last video. Much appreciated, man. Jason, horrible, absolutely horrible. Yeah. Lord Sheargarav saying another toothless attacking performance. Yeah. Oh, honestly, it's hard to put this one into words today. But of course, I'm here. I'm going to try. Norfolk here is saying not over till the fat lady sings, or sorry, that lady sings yet to 2024. It isn't over, but how we shouldn't have lost that one today. I mean, we didn't do almost enough to win, but to lose, yeah, that one's hard to take, man. That one's hard to take. Not gonna lie to you, people. Yep, gutted, devastated. Yeah. Why can't we shoot on goal? I do want to get into that again. We're going to talk about that again today. And we're going to talk about that too as well in the sub decisions. Right. Come on. I've got to get myself together. Let's get through this, people. Let's get through this together, yeah? So, listen, no hindsight talking here. I was active on socials, on my Instagram, even on X. I replied to this saying, I need this, we need this. Absolutely love the changes today. The only one extra I would have done was taking Jorginho out for Mateo Joseph. And as a couple of you messaged me saying, I think Farker watches your channel. I don't think he does that, but I did actually make these changes myself. Gray into midfield, Connor Roberts to start, Nanto come into the starting lineup, and Peru to come in for Bamford. The only one he didn't do was Mateo Joseph for Jorginho. So I was pretty on the money. I'll send my invoice out to Leeds United very soon. But and the way that we started today, I thought, wow, I was into it. The way we started the first 10, 20 minutes, I thought, okay, we're gonna do something. But then Blackburn put up a big block, and then we put up a big block mentally. We just couldn't get past them. And I just want sorry. I just want you to know about what we've talked about before, about moving the ball quicker, about just shooting, just getting some shots off, test the goalkeeper, and again, labored build up for most of the game in the end. And you saw with Blackburn's goal, it was championship route one. A bit of skill from my boy Tyrese Dolan to put in Schmadix. Sounds like I'm crying. It's just my voice still, people. Forgive me. Dolan to put in Schmadix, one touch goal. And that's all you need. You don't need to play 14 touches, 15 passes, and everything else to walk it into the net. Just shoot the damn thing. And that is what we don't do. That's what we haven't been doing, especially since we come back from the international break. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. Maybe nerves are set in. We've seen it with Ipswich. We saw it with Leicester last night. Everyone seems to be getting jittery in the top three. But what a bad time to get your first home defeat. Really, the worst time. And I know some of you in my preview were saying, because I was saying that Blackburn have got nothing to play for, but and that they're down at the bottom. There's no way Blackburn are getting relegated, and I'll say that on wax here. I expected them to win another game. I just didn't expect it to be today, people. I didn't expect it to be today. Yeah, Nidar saying all that attacking talent and zero killer instinct, all of them hiding again. I mean, listen, look, we're on the team sheet now. Let's talk about it. No, Robbie. No crying from me. It's my voice. Once my voice is back, but some people as well talking about my voice. I've been coughing on and nearly hourly for a month. People, my voice is going to be sore for a little bit, so just bear with me, please. Thank you. Ruben saying it's like they've forgotten how to score. It's crazy. Listen, let's talk about the team. Melier today, shocking stuff from Elland Melier today. And please, no agenda. Go back to my last match reaction. He was my man of the match. He was poor today. He almost put us on the back foot twice in 2 minutes. And then when you're talking about Schmadik's chance, it's a goal, of course, but he just goes down early and makes the decision easy for Schmadik to put it over him. Melier was bad today. Firpo, terrible. And he is one when we're talking about subs being made and poor subs. Firpo should have been one of the first stuff. He was bad today. There was 2 times in that I remember. Never mind with a player around him. He was by himself. He slipped over the first time, and then the second time he headed it back towards himself. The guy is a car crash defensively. He can't be trusted. Even in this division, he can't be trusted. Going forward, he's brilliant in this league, but defensively, forget about it, man. He stinks. Yeah, what a significant. Listen, Robert Slate is saying Rutter fouled every time. Look, the referee, I'm not, you know me, people. I'm not talking about referees. I'm going to give it 10 seconds here. First half, how there was only a minute added on. Only he knows that. But between Blackburn delaying the throws, between the goalkeeper taking the mick, not sure how it only ended up a minute. But we're not talking about the referee here. We still didn't do enough over 90 minutes. And then even when you're talking about chances, they had the better chances overall. Whether it was Schmadik's in the first half where he broke through after Somerville's loose pass, or the one that went across the goal that Connor Roberts put off the line. We didn't have anything like that. We had a couple where they flew past the post, but nothing as close as what Blackburn did today. Poor. So poor. Let's carry on. Roden, I'm afraid, listen, again, no bias here. I love Joe Roden this season, but he's the one that got beat in the air. I think it was by Sam Gallagher who got the flick onto Dolan. Listen, you can't be getting beat like that. Not when you're Big Joe. You've got to win that header. You win that header, you've erased that move altogether. There's no Dolan, there's no Schmadik's there. You get that header, but he lost it. He got out jumped in the air. It's not a good jump for me. Out of position as well, up the pitch. Can't have that. Gruev today, I thought Gruev was solid, people. I thought we saw what we missed. There was a few loose passes in the first half where Gruev cleaned up the mess like he has been doing before he got injured. I thought Gruev was real good today. And again, you know what we're talking? We're going to talk about the subs in a bit. We'll do that in a bit. Let me just carry on. Archie Gray got moved into the midfield. I'm afraid he was ineffective. I want to see more in the midfield, but he was ineffective today. Somerville did not have a good game today at all, and he could have been easily subbed off as well. Not good from Cree either. Kept on running into cul-de-sacs and could not get out. And also his final decision-making today wasn't good today. Wasn't. Nonto, for me, was our most dangerous attacker. Got everything we needed from Nonto, I feel. He was the one that was creating shots. He was the one that was, having shots from places where we don't usually shoot from, making the goalkeeper have to move a little. He was our most dangerous attacker for me today anyway. Jorginho, not good. Not good again. And I've got a feel, I don't know how you guys feel, people. I feel like Jorginho is not fully recovered after the surgery. I think we've probably rushed him back a little too quickly. Don't know how you feel. That's just my feeling. But listen, with Jorginho, you always know the longer he stays on the pitch, he can do something. But even he had to come off before the certain time, didn't he, today? Was not good from Georgie. Had a shot saved on target, but, whoop-de-doo. And Joel Perot, not too good today either. Did not take the chance. And unfortunately for Joel, he does not have the rope that certain other players have. So fully expect him to come out for the next game and seeing Bamford back in there, even though Bamford had a horror show when he came on. But we know how it goes here, people. Let's have a look. Ruben here saying, best case today, Ipswich lose and Southampton lose. Listen, getting into the Super Chats. Thank you for the Super Chats, people. Let me get into those now. Radaby Leeds here saying, saying that sinking feeling when you know in your gut it's the playoffs now. Seriously starting to question Farke's decisions. Why did he take Roberts off? We're going to get into that in just a minute. Ricky here. Thanks for your service, Dallas. Not going to drink beer today, can only go wrong. Okay, well, Ricky, if you feel you're going to do some wrong decisions under the influence, stay away from the alcohol, my friend. All right. But yeah, Dallas was there for his goodbye today. And listen, shout out to Stuart Dallas for his service and everything to the club. Shout out to him, and he was a good servant for the team. Ruben here. I think Leeds now don't have to worry so much about the top two. They have to worry about Southampton catching them and pushing them lower in the table. I mean, lower in the table at this stage, it doesn't really matter at this stage now, Ruben. We're in the playoffs regardless of what happens. But once again, I'm not ruling out the top two. I know a lot of you are feeling down, but this is what the instant match reaction is about, isn't it? It's about how your raw emotions now. Now, I'm extremely disappointed. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with the result today. But we've seen this week already, Leicester have not scored a goal in 2 games. Ipswich have got a game in 20 minutes as we record this now. But it's not over yet, people. We are just not doing enough. And I get people that saying we're not going to make it because there's no evidence that we're going to make it either. But I would say the same for Ipswich as well and Leicester. So until we're out, as gutting as it is today, I've still got a little bit of hope. And as they say, it's the hope that kills you. Mr. P, thank you, Mr. P. I said on X last week, Twitter for those that don't know, Blackburn losing 5-1 would mean they beat us 1-0 today. For those fans saying we're overreacting after our first loss of 2024, well, now it's 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. Should we still be happy, clappers? Should we still be happy, clappers? Great point, Mr. P. And Lee Gold up here saying, I'm starting to look at the manager now. Subs all wrong. Why take Willie off? Okay, so guys, let's get into that. Here we are. Now, I've given you the lineup there, and this is the timing of the subs of what we did. Poor subs to bring on. And it's probably not even the poor subs to bring on, but it's who he took off. Now, I'm going to just take a guess here, and that Nanto and Connor Roberts were maybe not fully fit for 90 minutes. That's the only thing I can think of, because for me, up to that point, it was a toss-up between Nanto and Connor Roberts of who is the man of the match. That's what it was for me. Connor Roberts, apart from a couple of sloppy passes in the first half, was sensational today. He gave us that outlet on the right-hand side. He gave us defensive stability that we've been lacking over the last couple of weeks. Especially, even though we got a clean sheet in the last game, people, don't forget how easy it was for Sunderland to carve us open. Connor Roberts gave us a bit of solidity. The only thing I can think of is that Connor Roberts and Willie Nanto could not last the 90 today because they were 2 of our best players. The Bamford one coming on before Mateo Joseph, I'll always question that. Again, you give him Mateo Joseph, he's under Mateo Fernandez there, for the people that don't know, for 80 minutes. So, he gets like 15, 16 minutes today. Bring it, if you're not going to start him, make him be the first sub. It's almost like, oh, I didn't start Patrick today, so I've got to do the first thing I can do and bring him on first. It's crazy stuff. And Patrick Bamford today, I spoke about other people's performances. He shouldered one where you could just head it in. And the thing is, he won't get no stick for it because he's Bamford. But, Perot shoulders that one over the bar. People are calling him all kinds of names. It's crazy stuff. But Bamford's there. All he has to do is just put his head on it. It probably goes in. He shoulders it over the bar. What can you do? What can you do? Nate here saying, I'd rather see Gelhardt over Bamford and Peru. Listen, Peru knows he's on a short leash here. He knows that if he doesn't perform, he's not starting the next game. It's one of those. I liken it a lot to Callum Hudson-Odoi under, I think it was Thomas Tuchel. He always looked nervous whenever he played for Chelsea under that manager because he knew that he had a short rope. And that's the way it is for certain players. But he did not do enough. I'm not excusing Joel Perot today. He wasn't good today. He wasn't. Let's have a look. Stan here saying, Daniel Farker expecting Jane Anthony to put out the fire. What would that impetus be to get his charity minutes next week? Listen, we've spoke about it today in terms of Daniel Farker and his subs. It's almost like there's no tactic involved. It's when we need a win, throw on all your attackers and hope for the best. And listen, I've done that many times on Football Manager. I'm sure many Football Manager players have done that too. But in real life, you leave it risky. It's a huge risk. and we got opened up because of it today with Smadics. Dolan, that ball, that reverse pass from Dolan was sexy. That's beautiful football. And Dolan, for me, he's leaving. He's got to leave Blackburn and go somewhere else. His talent is wasted there. But that pass to put through Schmadics, open up the defense. My question is, why can none of our more talented players do that right now? What is the block there? We know we've got the talent. Let's not rewrite history, people. These are the most talented attackers in the league, and it just seems like everything is taking 5, 6 touches to do, passing into absolute walls at the moment instead of trying to get into space. I have no idea what is going on. But this is what I was saying on the batch preview as well, people. Daniel Farker was speaking very confidently. He was speaking very confidently. He was talking about all his accolades, no home defeats, 87 points, 2 manager of the months, everything else like that. He was talking very confidently. I'm all for that, but you've got to back it up. And unfortunately, today, with the tactical changes, with the substitutions made, you messed it up, man. You absolutely messed it up. And he's got to rectify it. And the worst thing is, people, I don't know if everyone realizes this. I got a game until a week on Monday. So there's a lot of time for these players to stew over this result, which for me is not a good thing. Not at this football club. It's never a good thing because there's going to be think pieces. There's going to be things that they're going to read, probably watch over the next week that is going to probably put some more doubt in their heads. Well, Martin Farcrest to earn his wages now. He does. He does. He does. Lord Sheargraph saying, I'm almost terrified to hear Farker's comments after this, expecting meaningless diatribe. Yeah, I'll see if I'm still on when he talks. I'll see if anyone puts him up, but he's got to explain some things today. Mr. Anthrope, I want to get onto this. Covert digs at the crowd are a big mistake. He looks like a clown now. They deserve the booze. Yeah, I don't agree with it. And I know people have been talking about the crowd and everything else like that. I mean, we were nervy against Sunderland. You could hear it. It was even more evident today, quite obviously. But the stakes are high. Everyone knows what's at stake here. And we saw the result against Leicester. It's like, okay, guys, we've got changes in the team, good changes as well. Give them credit for that. Do your jobs. Just get on with it. Get the win and go home. And as the game went on, it was looking more difficult to break him down. One thing the commentator said as well, before we get onto that, is that Leeds need to get in behind him. I don't know if anyone else was watching, but we couldn't get in behind him. Firpo was trying to make overlapping runs as Connor Roberts was. There was no space to get in behind him. They put up a brick wall. But that's then on you to do something else. Play Route 1 football like they did to get their goal. Do something different. And that has been the problem since we returned from the international break. We're so predictable. So predictable. And I'm not even talking about Somerville doing his cut inside shooting. I always said the same thing. We always knew what Thierry Henry was going to do, didn't we? Run down the left, slot it in far corner, but it's up to you to stop him. But when the attack is literally running just through him and Jorginho, you've got to change it up. Yeah, LUFC here saying Sunderland game was the blueprint for the rest to play against us. Yeah. Again, sorry about the crowd, Mr. Anthrope. Yeah, the crowd, this is not on the crowd, people. The crowd can be nervy because it's what the players are serving up. And I never want to hear any bad mouthing against the crowd that are there. It's up to the players to lift the crowd. There's been too many times, especially when we was in the Premier League, getting our asses handed to us week in, week out, where that crowd was singing no matter what, when those players did not deserve it. It is on these players to give the fans something to sing about. It's on the players, people. Don't want to hear nothing about the crowd being poor. They weren't. Yeah, T85, Nonto and Roberts down the right were our best outlet today. Yeah, and they went off. And they went off. J-Dog here with a super chat. Thank you. Anthony might as well be at Bournemouth 2 minutes. It's not been a good loan spell, but I'm not convinced by Jane Anthony. But what I will say is if you want him to try and make a bit of an impact, 89 minutes coming on, as you can see on the screen, you've got to give him more than 7 minutes. And this is the problem. Our substitutes are coming on, But like that disingenuous comment he made a couple of weeks ago about Mateo Joseph only having 1 goal in 15. What he doesn't say though is that he only gives him 10 minutes. And I think the commentator said that he's the manager that does the substitutions on average. That he's in first place for lateness. You have to have context behind it. But yeah, Ian, I wanted to go on to that, and it's a pretty obvious point. But Ian, Blackburn have the second worst defensive record, got 5 goals put past them in the week, and we can't even get one. That's sorry. It's even worse than us losing to Coventry, and Coventry then going to Southampton and looking very, very ordinary. We're making everybody look defensively astute at the moment. We're making everyone look like they've got the defensive setup absolutely spot on and that they're impenetrable. And that is just not right. It's just that we're not doing enough. We're having all the ball, we're doing all these passes, and it's coming to absolutely nothing right now. Absolutely nothing. How do you go up against a team that is 3 points out the drop? They've just conceded 5. You saw as well in the early parts of the first half, by the way, Dolan, Schmadix, and a couple of the other better players on their team were getting very frustrated that every time they got the ball, they'd lose it straight away. How are you not taking advantage of that? Then we've got our coaches at the end. Pressure's getting to everybody, getting sent off. It's insane. Ryan here, only saving grace is a Middlesbrough win, but sick of relying on other teams. I'm tired of it as well. You get the 3 points today. You have a big say in everything what happens. You put extra pressure on Ipswich coming up in 10 minutes as we're here today. But no, we've probably give them the boost. And they're playing with the least pressure, Ipswich. They're literally playing with house money. If they go up, that's one hell of an achievement. They're not expected to go up. So if they go up, it's cool. For us, and you've seen our accounts, we must go up. We must. Yeah, Stephen here is saying Southampton could actually go up automatically. Let me just get the table up for a minute. While I'm doing that, if you haven't liked the video yet, please do that for me. Please do that for me today, people. Right, so here is the table. It stinks, man. Still on 87 points, 2 losses in the last 5, 1 win in 5. Ed, get out of here. Oh, man, bro. So obviously Ipswich have got to play today against Middlesbrough. Leicester have still got a game in hand after this weekend's fixtures. Yeah, it's so out of our hands, people. So out of our hands. Robert here saying all this news of 190 million unpaid transfer fees come at a bad time, put a lot of extra pressure on. Yeah, I disagree with that. It is 190 million, but it's installments, isn't it, Robert, and everyone else? We actually owe 73 million this year? So we've got to pay out 73 million in transfer fees this year. So I don't think that goes on the players. I really don't. I think that's giving them an excuse. So don't give them an excuse. Just don't do that, because especially if Leicester City go up, because they've got all the excuses that they can have. So I don't want to hear excuses like that. And I don't think it affects players like that. That's more the front office that gets affected by that. Ed, I'm gonna kick your butt, I'm gonna kick your butt. LUFC saying, let me just take a sip, people. LUFC saying Farker too focused on his pass. It's here and now. He falls down. Well, I've said many times, and people are probably sick of me saying this, but the difference between Norwich and Leeds United, there's a major difference. You cannot compare going up with Norwich City compared to the pressure cooker that is Leeds United. But I think Daniel Farker does know that. I do think that the press conference before this game was to calm the fans down after the Sunderland result. I think he wanted just to let everyone know that he's still in control, still got everything. We're still in a good position. And he probably thought, as many of us did, and I'm going back to my match preview, that we'd win this game today. A few of you had draws, fair enough, but no one expected us to lose today. Now he's going to have to come up with something different because all those things he was talking about in the press conference yesterday, that counts for nada today. Absolutely nothing. Um, let's have a look. Has he got his, let me just see if his comments are up on, someone's written them out yet. No, no one's written them out yet. If you guys want to let me know what he's saying, little sound bites, I'll put them up on the screen. Um, yeah, I don't think tactics for me aren't a strong point. I don't think they are at all. God, I'm so gutted, man. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man, I did not envision this happening. I didn't see this happening, man. Absolutely gutted. That's the question. What has happened to this team? You know, remember the match reactions where between January, say early March, I was automatic. I had no worries about this team. I thought we'd win the games. Even when it was 0-0, I thought, yeah, we're gonna break through eventually. Since we've come back from the international break, it's been anything but. I'm worried about this team. But boy, yeah, I mean, listen, possession is what you make of it. You know, we saw that against Sunderland. We had 619 passes. Was it 70, 80 possession? But it doesn't tell you that 619 passes, a lot of them were to each other at the back and to Melier. It doesn't mean anything. It's what you do with it. As Jose Mourinho once answered to a reporter, you only had 15% possession or something like that. And he just said, well, I tell you what, they can have their, big possession. I'll take the 3 points. That's how it is. Um, yeah, oh man, everyone's gutted, man. I can't lift you up, people, because I'm gutted myself. I'm gutted myself, people. So I've got no therapy for you today. Just got to talk about the game. Let me just see. Is anything decent coming from the Daniel Farker post match interview? Let me look somewhere else. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me just get John Eustace up, who's the Blackburn manager, who coincidentally beat us 1-0 with Birmingham earlier this season as well, by the way. Um, John Eustace was talking about without the ball, we had a game plan. Well, we know what that was, people, don't we? We know exactly what that was. But fair play to him, it worked, didn't it? We knew they'd take more risk as the game went on. It was a quality goal. It was, I don't want to take anything away from the Blackburn goal. It was route one to start with, but the play between Dolan and the finish was quality. I'm not taking anything away from that, but yeah, we knew what their game plan was, and they worked for it. I think they would have been more than happy today with a point. They would have loved a point in the going up in the next game against Sheffield Wednesday. Now they got three. They go into that game against Sheffield Wednesday with a whole bunch of confidence. But what does that do for us, people, against Middlesbrough? Oh, I would say so as well, Robbie. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not taking that away from them. Yeah, they're done. They did deserve the win overall. Let me just go back up. Somebody's got a comment here that he said. Robert saying he's not saying anything. He's just talking about how young the players are, listing the players and their ages. He's done that already. He's done that in the pre-match press conference. We know their ages, but again, I hate when people go to this. The, the ages have got nothing to do with it. We weren't talking about their ages when we went on that unbelievable run between January and March. We're not talking about their ages there. So why is it coming up now? What does that mean? All right, fine. 25 years ago, we went to the Champions League semi-final with a young team. What does that mean? Come on, man. Martin are saying disappointed we didn't show our effectiveness. Yeah, I I agree with that. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I never take the age thing into account. I think it's BS. Not every young player can handle it, but at the same time, people we've seen not every old player can handle it either. It's always like when you see a defensive mistake made by a youngster, oh, he'll learn from that. But then an experienced player, listen, Virgil van Dijk versus Arsenal, him and Allison with that mix up. What's the excuse then? It's just an excuse. That's all it is. Yeah, and they were just babies. They were just babies. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about. That's a big part of the second half, especially Martin R. At least he didn't blame not getting penalties. Guys, we were looking for those. I don't know how anyone else feels about them. I think Bamford was looking for them. Byram looked for it. And listen, Byram could have probably got it, but he put too much dip on the chip. You know, he arched his body in the air and he did too much. You know, if you're not well adversed in the dark arts, leave it to the people that can do it. But again, much like the Sunderland game, I felt that we were diving in the end or looking for the least amount of contact to go over in hopes for a penalty. That's another sign that you should be worried, people. Oh, that's a sign when you should be worried when you're hoping for a penalty to bail you out. Yeah, exactly. Listen, we don't listen to that here, Robbie. And you're absolutely right. Foden, Palmer, Saka too young. Look at Cole Palmer this season, man. Cooking. What are we talking about, youngsters? Um, Ian saying so embarrassed with Bayern doing all that awful. Yeah, look, I mean, it's modern football, and I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it, but until they come out with a ban for people that dive and everything else like that, and at the same time, as soon as referees start giving penalties for not having to go over, then we'll be in a better position. But look, if you can help your team by getting a cheap penalty, do so, but you can't sell it like the way Byron did. That you're never getting a penalty for that, people. What about these corners, Cage? You're so ineffective. How long since we scored from one? It's another rinse and repeat subject. Um, it didn't matter today. I thought Gruev's deliveries today were probably the best, but that is not saying a lot. It really isn't saying a lot. Somerville's corners today stunk, couldn't beat the first man multiple occasions. We're in a bad spot when it comes to set pieces, but we know that already, people. I'm just going to check something else here. Hold on a minute. Uh, let's go on to here. Oh, God. We got to get out of here, man. We've got to relax the rest of this Saturday, people. Got to chill. Do something you enjoy, people. Do something you enjoy. Okay, right. I got a few Farker comments here, quotes here. Let me just get into a few more of your comments. I'm going to stick with you for a bit, man. Oh, how, how, how? Oh, man. Is it okay? While I'm here, before I get up Daniel Farker's comments before we close, is this how everyone's feeling as we speak right now? Put a Farker accent on T85. I don't know if my voice can do it today. I'll try, but I don't know. Is this where everyone thinks we are? Put it in the chat now. Playoffs direct here saying playoffs. The squad hasn't got the mentality. I think he's saying even in the playoffs, the squad hasn't got the mentality to do that. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, people. But is that what we're saying? I'm gonna just let it be known. I don't think that we're out of the top two yet, but we're just making it harder and harder for ourselves. But as people say, if we didn't, would that really be the Leeds United way? You know? Can you whisper the comments? I can't take it. Michael Roebuck, as I'll probably be the oldest follower in here since 76. Shout out to you, man. I've seen everything possible for Leeds. There are 3 games to go. Still plenty of twists to come. Keep believing and keep the faith. Yeah, I'm with you, man. There's still plenty of twists to go, as we've seen with the results this week. But, you know, the faith is shaky. I'm not going to lie, but you can only hope that other people keep messing up and that we somehow get our act together. Tuhal saying here, looks very much like playoffs, KG. I'm not too positive with that scenario. Robert's saying, I hate to agree. I see Southampton nicking it. They've no pressure and all the momentum. Again, I do think they've got pressure as well, people, being a recently relegated team, but I hear what you're saying. Let's have a look. Elmi, I blame Bamford. KG, I blame Bamford. It's not all on Bamford today, Elmi. There's so many other factors today. It's not just on him. He's only part of the problem, man. David he's saying, I hate Faith, totally lost it with this guy. Oh wow. A lot of you are just messing out Farker, just cussing him out. Hisham saying it's playoffs for sure, bro. We've blown it away 3 games in a row. Yeah, Mr. Taxi. Thank you for making me laugh here. That's nice, man. Bring Big Sam in. Tremendous. Martin, be honest, who had Leeds to be in the top 3 after 43 games? Things like this don't matter, Martin, and everyone else who does these kind of things, saying, oh, who thought we'd be in this position? We're in this position. You know, that would be like if Ipswich don't go up this season, their fans be saying, oh, well, we weren't expected to go up. They'll be gutted. And rightly so if they don't go up, because they've been good this season. Lucky, good, whatever you want to call it. They've been up there all season long. So it doesn't matter about where you think you're going to be after 43 games. It's where you're at. Sometimes you think you could be mid-table, but then you end up getting relegated. You know what I mean? You have to adjust your expectations with the information and results that happen to you. It doesn't matter what you thought you was going to do. Helmy saying Bamford again. Tremendous. Let me get up Daniel Farker's comments and then I'll let you guys get out of here and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Do so, people. Don't let this result put you down. Right, here we go, people. You guys, is that too small? Let me get it bigger. Here we are. Okay. Farker speaking after defeat. What went wrong? We didn't put the ball in the net. If you don't score, you don't win games. Oh, tremendous. Schmadex has the quality we didn't show. He needed just one situation to score. Okay. That is he said it himself there. You only needed one. Why does it take us so many? Huh? Farker on time wasting. It's not up to me to judge and blah 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 blah. I'm a long way from blaming any side what they can do. We have to find solutions. He's right. It's not on them. It's on us. I'm picking the players up. We have enough time to pick them up and work on the training pitch. It's not up to me always to be there with a hug around the shoulder, but I can't question their worth ethic. It's also not the moment to punish them. And that is it. That's the quotes I've got there, people. Oh man. Yeah, I think that's it from me today. I'm gonna go and do something else, man. But yeah, people, disappointing result today. Nicole's asking how many games left. There's 3 left for us anyway. Leeds United surrender their undefeated home record today. It's over. But is the top 2 over? Put it in the comments if you believe it is. But yeah, just disappointed with today. Very disappointed. But yeah, please, if you haven't already, hit the like, drop your comments, subscribe to the channel. And guys, I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.